Hello everyone, it's me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. We're back with a witchy video, as I always say, and it's to do with Hecate and basically answering the question, do you need to follow a specific teaching, a course, be part of a temple, a group, a coven, to work with or worship Hecate? Well, let's answer the question. Let's get into it. Now, if you're new here, hello, I'm Sarah, that divination witch. I hope you stick around. It's a safe space here where you can ask questions, nothing silly, everyone's different. We've all got different opinions, points of view, and I encourage people to share it and help each other as well. And if you like that, you know what to do. And also, if you want to support the channel further, I do have a link tree all below. I do readings for people. I'm also teaching things on Patreon. We're in the year of the dark goddess right now. If you're interested in finding out what that means, go check it out. To answer this question, the short version is no, you don't need anything special to worship or work with Hecate. But I'm answering this question not to bring anyone else down, not to dismiss anyone else's work, but to be honest and to answer the question, especially for newbies or even people who are not so new. Because a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us come from religious conditioning, whether we like that or not. So we may be ex-Christians or ex-Muslims, or it could be any religion, I suppose, but a lot of it is the Abrahamic religions. And within the Abrahamic religions, there is a hierarchical structure, you could say. Now, yes, people can worship Jesus, God, whoever, without attending a church, without, doing all of that stuff, but you still have a holy book, which is kind of like your rule book, it's a Bible, isn't it? It is the rules of life that you're supposed to adhere. And whether that is the Torah, the Quran, whatever, a lot of religions have a holy text like that and rules to go by. So with a goddess like Hecate, she doesn't have that. Yes, in history, there were always cult centres of worship to Hecate, and there have always been different spin-offs and people's takes on things, and there is to this day. Look at the Chaldean oracles, for example. That is a set of teachings that pin Hecate as the creator goddess of everything. And that wasn't, everyone that believed that, but quite a few people did. And you could equate that to modern day times where we have so many different paths, so many different grimoires, so many different takes on who she is. You can't pin her down. It isn't like, right, here's the Bible, but you might have different versions of the Bible, but really it's the same thing at its core. Hecate doesn't have that. So personally, I feel, because a lot of us have this conditioning, we gravitate towards something that has a structure, that has this familiarity to it. And now I'm not saying this is everyone, because me personally, I didn't do it. But I've noticed a lot of people do. And I'm not getting at you if you do. I'm not judging you. Some people, with the greatest of respect, need to be led. They need a structure. So I can understand people seeking out a temple, a coven, something in her name. And there are organisations out there in her name, and I'm not, like I say, not getting at them or anything like that. But they're not needed. They're not needed. To some people, they may be needed, as in if you need a structure, that might work for you. But to respect Hecate, to worship Hecate, to know Hecate, you do not need that, is what I'm trying to say. Hecate herself is not about labels and elitism. She is, at her very essence, the goddess for the underdogs, the goddess for the outcasts. She's the divine feminine. Whether you want to say she's the creator of everything or not, given that she is the torchbearer, given that she is the guide to the lost, living and dead, it makes sense that she doesn't have time for that kind of thing, as in ego-driven sort of things. Now, I'm not saying everyone involved with these things are ego-driven, absolutely not. They put in hard work, it's their belief, they help people in her name in their own way. And you know what, if that's for you, go on, go do it. I'm happy for you. What we all have in common is a love for Hecate, so I've got no problem with that. Personally, I have encountered orders out there that I do have problems with, that are egocentric, that in my eyes it's wrong, to be honest. It's wrong as in painting Hecate to be a certain way. So what I'm trying to say by this is, you join, say, an occult order or a path, and they say Hecate is, I don't know, this X thing, this dark queen mother, and she is only capable of this sort of thing. And I've seen things out there where people, and it's not just one path either, by the way, where people force Hecate into a binary, as in, to connect with her, you have to visualize her, but only visualize her a certain way. If you visualize her something different, then that's not her. What are you going on about? I feel a lot of these things force their own ideals onto Hecate, is what I'm trying to say. And that is not Hecate. Now, each to their own. What works for someone may not work for another. And if this is not against any temples of Hecate sort of thing. And it's not everyone doing this. But to me, if you encounter a path or a course or a practitioner or a teacher or even if I started doing this, which I don't think I ever would, but if they try and say Hecate is just, she's only this thing, like an example I can give you is, I won't ever say who, but there is someone out there who tells you to visualize her in her triple aspect only, meaning a 3-headed lady, and that she wears a saffron robe and that's it. And if you visualize her as anything else, then it's not Hecate. That's bullshit, mate. That's just bullshit, because even in antiquity, yes, she was triple formed sometimes, but even in depictions of her, there's singular forms of her. Like, she isn't always that. It's all right to call on that aspect of her, but I know firsthand from my experiences, as I have shared on this channel, Hecate has many epithets, many sides to her, capable of many things, and she doesn't always appear as one thing. So she can appear as a triple formed goddess, yes. She could appear as a beautiful young maiden. She could appear as a shadow. She could appear as a dog. She could appear as anything, really. The hooded lady I normally see, sometimes I've seen her as a crone, and other people say that's not possible, but it is. It is. I'm not saying that's all she is, though. And you'll never catch me saying that. So that is a red flag to me. If somebody is forcing her into a box, forcing her into a certain category and telling you that there's no other way of doing this, and if somebody as well is saying that they've got the one true word of Hecate, they've got direct access to this goddess, nobody else has, that's bullshit as well. Because I'm not saying they don't have access to her or that they haven't channeled her, but that's not all she is. I know that firsthand, and a lot of you guys who've approached me know that too. So what I'm trying to say, and especially for any newbies out there, it's easy to get sucked into something, okay? Some people need structure and need that, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you find something that resonates for you, a group, a temple, whatever, you found it, that's great. But watch out for those sorts of red flags is all I'd say. Most of these things are great and fine, and it's not for me, but it works for others. And they've been doing this years and years and years. And hopefully they still will, because it's amazing that there's things in Mother's name. I call her Mother, see? She's not always Mother. But still, it's amazing. You know, Covenant of Hecate is one of them. You do you, guys. I've got nothing against it. Absolutely nothing against it. But there's other things out there that are a bit red flaggy and are a bit like cult mentality. Please be wary. Please be careful. And look, at the end of the day, if you still decide, no, I'm going to do this, well, people are going to do it. You can't stop them. But to anyone who is new and maybe naive and thinks, oh, this must be the only way, it's not. And I'm telling you, it's not. Listen to other people's perspectives. Look online at other people, not even in a teaching capacity, just literally Google, even fucking Google Reddit if you have to. Sometimes I get some unhinged things off Reddit, but it's people's honest opinions, whether it's good, bad or ugly, you know. It doesn't have to be a teaching moment. It's more, how do they experience Hecate? You know, it's just hearing other people's points of views. Even Facebook groups. I don't really go on Facebook myself, but, you know, look online at other people's opinions. Don't just take one person's word for things. Hecate is not this one shaped woman figure that does certain things. She's not a binary. She's not in a box. She's not one thing. She's multifaceted. She's complex. And if anyone's telling you a certain narrative and that's the only way you should do things, then that's a red flag. That's a sign of a cult in my eyes. And it's not just Hecate's name that gets this. There's other deities, other occult orders out there that I'm never going to be a part of. For me, yeah, I'm a solitary witch. And I'm, you know, me on my Patreon right now, I'm doing this Year of the Dark Goddess. And now I'm never going to say I'm the right thing. What the Year of the Dark Goddess is, just to say, it's kind of a path working that I have created. I haven't channeled it from anyone. I feel led by Hecate to do it. But it is not me saying, Hecate said XYZ, do this. We are just focusing on different archetypes within the dark feminine each month of the year to do deep shadow work and healing and stepping into our power. Kind of like how on a surface level, if you went through the Sephiroth or the Cliffoth, if you are familiar with those terms, you work through the different spheres and you work on a certain thing, like Malkuth is to do with earthly things, for example, and then you work your way up. It's like that. But it's something I've devised. Now, I'm not saying it's the only way. It's just a way of helping people. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else, and I'm not making it into a coven. I'm not making it into a temple or anything like that. It's just a group of like-minded people helping each other. You get me? And like Covenant of Hecate, to my knowledge, I'm not a part of it, but they've done good things in her name. I'm just mentioning them because I actually follow some of them on Instagram. You do you. That's not for me to tear that down. Absolutely not. Because I love Mother. I love Hecate. And you do too. And that's great. It's the other things is what I'm hinting at. Please just be wary of what you're listening to and who you're listening to. Yeah, so I hope that helped. I hope that answered the question. You don't need these things. They can be a bonus. They can help some people if you need the structure still. Some people just gravitate towards different things. I know I mentioned religious trauma and stuff like that, but it's not even just religious trauma. Just some people are different. We're all embodiments of different archetypes ourselves as well. So we all suit different things, and that's okay. So if there's anything else you want me to answer, especially about Hecate, I'm more than happy to. Go check out my playlist. I've got a huge playlist just on Hecate. And if you made it this far, you may as well hit subscribe. And until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye-bye.